Now we're live. Okay, we're live now. Hello. I thought we had already started. Hello, Internet. Guess what we're talking about? We're talking about the brand new Fujifilm Instax Mini Evo Cinema. What a mouthful. If you've never heard of Fujifilm, they make a lot of fun stuff like this. This is instant film that, guess what, I didn't have to pay for. Thank you so much, F Analog Shop, for sending me this. They also make this. This is 35 millimeter film. You put it in your grandpa camera. Oh, whoops, I guess I can't shoot that one. And they make this, Instax. This is the usual Instax. Instax can't, here, let me fix the screen. By the way, I'm Nick, and this is LOPRO Uncut, because this is LoPresti Productions, LOPRO Uncut, and I don't edit these. These are my podcasts, but Fuji usually makes this stuff. That's what everyone knows about Instax. It's instant pictures. It's like Polaroid, but for Gen Z. And anyway, like I said, I'm Nick, and I don't just make these podcast things. I also make a lot of like highly edited, well-produced videos like this one where I shot 82-year-old film and developed it and got good pictures out of it. This one with pictures of chickens and using the OM3 digital camera. This one where I play with a bunch of cameras and decide which ones I'm getting rid of. And yeah, I usually do a lot of editing, but I also do these podcasts like this. It's called LOPRO Uncut because I don't edit these. And, because I got to spend time editing all the main videos. Anyway, this is what is happening. New Fuji video camera. What? A Fuji video camera? Are you kidding me? What is going on? How do you make this, which is like a Polaroid, which is like these? This is this. How does this make video? Well, this isn't the video. You play a video in that. What do I mean? Well, let me show you. Oh my God. Luckily, they've put out videos to demonstrate what it does. Here we go. See, you get this on your phone. So you video with this, with the camera thingy. You put it up to your eye, and you make moving pictures of people, and then you get this cool little retro looking thing. Here, let's make this big. You get this cool little retro thing on your phone that you can share with all your friends. You can take 15-second clips like this. Look at how retro and cool. You know, if this seems too much like a toy and a gimmick, that's because it's on purpose. That's what Fuji wants. They want a fun little toy that everyone wants to play with. Like, look at that. It's hip. I think people are craving analog these days, even if they don't know it. Like, Gen Z who might not even know what film is. Like, film. Do you guys know what film is? Do you guys even know what this is? This is film. This makes pictures. It's chemical pictures. Okay. Ask your grandpa. He might know. Hopefully your grandpa's still around. But yeah, so I feel like people are yearning for something analog, and Fuji is doing the Lord's work, making fun things like this that will be their foot in the door, because even if it looks like just stupid Instagram filters and, silly little like overlays, that's because that's what it is. That's what they meant to do. Look, you grab this thing. It's like, it looks like an old Super 8 camera, like this. Look at that old grandpa rusty thing. That looks fun to shoot with, but you're not guaranteed to get results like this guy gets. Look what happens here. This guy gets to go hang out with his girlfriend or fiance or whatever. They're going on. It's easy. You point it, you twist it, you squeeze a trigger, and you get pictures that look like they're from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. Fun little mode dial. And then you can twist that, and you get a freaking print. And then you can scan the QR code to go on your phone and have all this, just fun. It's fun. It's supposed to be a toy, But the analog purist in me, the super gatekeeper photographer, serious photographer in me, has a bone to pick with it. Okay, look at that. See how serious of it. See, I shot that. Where do I point? Okay, yeah, I shot that. Wow, that's what all us analog people do. We take serious photos of serious neon signs, and my one thing that gives me ick about it is that you're making a digital picture, and then you're printing it onto analog film, which kind of seems icky. It seems gross because the lens and the sensor in this thing is probably like a little dinky 5 megapixel dash cam thing that's just, not a very well sharp, good lens, but at the same time, that's what these are known for. Just being little plastic dinky lenses and capturing memories, imperfections and all. And I think that even if It's just pretty much just a printer. It's a portable printer that also gets like little videos with the quality of, I don't know, 480 by freaking 720. I don't know resolutions, guys. I know I make videos, but I'm not that smart. But real low res videos that sit inside of an Instax frame. You know, here let's pull up some of these other marketing materials. Here we go. Let's watch these people play with one. No, it's not for sale yet. That's what I think the main thing is going to be, the price. Sarah, if you guys couldn't hear, Sarah's in bed asking about what if it's for sale yet. This you were? Yeah, that's the thing. They haven't said the price, and I think they're trying to gauge the hype of everybody to see who this is for. Oh God, like my phone's going off. If you see this right here, let me pull this up. This little box. They're also releasing like a printer right there. So this printer just talks to your phone and prints anything you got off your phone. You could, print out pictures of dick butt, or, you could rickroll people or something. So that's practically what this thing's doing. But instead of having to, take a picture with your phone, you can take a picture with this little like Super 8 looking thing and just crank this little dial and it prints it out. Where's the demonstration? Here we go. We'll put this one. We'll get this one playing. I think this is the main demo. Yeah, see, here we go. Like when I first saw this thing, I thought it was pretty cool looking. Like, but then once they showed that eyepiece, I was kind of like, I'd much rather have an optical viewfinder. But it just seems like optics cost more than transistors and circuit boards these days. So I mean, it's the nature of the beast. And they have like an eye cup you can put on it. I don't know. Sorry, I didn't plan this podcast out that well. Let me find where he puts that on. There we go. So see, you can put that little eye cup on it, and that makes it a lot more like old-timey, you know what I mean? Like you're actually a cinematographer looking through a thing. It's pretty neat. And then you can crank this little dial he's got right here, and it spits out an Instax picture. But, like I was saying, let me go back to my point about this giving me the ick, because, why am I even going to make this if I'm just going to fawn all over this and simp all over it? Because it seems like most of the other tubers and people I see are just like, wow, give it to me. Wow, 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 wow. I want it. Yum, yum, yum. Slop down my belly. But I do have some points of contention. Like, look at the size of this. That's a lot bigger than like, it's not that much bigger than a full frame picture, but it's pretty much bigger. It's a lot bigger than, a cell phone sensor or whatever. So there's probably like a little, let's hope it's at least a 1/1.2 sensor in this thing. We don't know. But then it's just going to like blow up that pixely dash cam picture onto the size of this, which seems kind of a waste to the analog purist in me, because these freaking, am I still live? Sorry, I'm frozen over on that side. I can't tell if I'm still live. We're going to have to do a spot check, everybody. Okay, we're still live. My other monitor is frozen. So just bear with me. Back to where we were at. Okay, so to blow up like a little 2 megapixel, 5 megapixel thingy-mabob to this size just seems like a waste of that precious emulsion and whatever. When you're, how much are you spending per shot with Instax? What is it, like $14 for one of these things, and you're getting 20 pictures? I mean, it's a lot better than how much you spend on Polaroid, but just the fact that, it's just like taking a little tiny 2 megapixel thing and blowing it up on, and maybe that's fine. That's fine. Is if maybe we can get people addicted to analog through this exercise of, hey, wow, look at this. It's old timey. It's not perfect. Embrace the imperfections. And with a fun little toy like this, you're going to take some old timey photos, videos, and share them with your friends. And I just think the nostalgia, the novelty of it is going to wear off real quick. Where's the dial? See this dial? Okay, so they have, sorry guys, I got a freaking, I don't know what view I'm on right now. Here we go. I'm probably out of your way right now. Now I'm real little, hopefully. Am I real little? Yay, I'm real little. Sorry about that. So they have 1930s, 1940s, 50s, and yada, yada, all the different decades. And it's gimmicky. It's a toy camera, but it's going to be fun. It's going to get people to play with it. But hopefully they price it somewhere where it's not just some ungrateful Gen Z trust fund kids getting to play with it that are hipster influencers and make the rest of us break the bank just to be able to play with this neat little toy that we're going to have fun with for maybe a week tops and then put it in a drawer and never touch it again. So I think that all hinges upon what Fuji's pricing strategy is going to be. Hopefully they judge all this hype and they don't go like, man, we can freaking do this for $500, because even then I think that's prohibitive. Babe, what would be your top dollar on something like this?
I don't know. I thrift everything.
We thrift everything, so we're not the best people to ask. We wear everything from thrift stores. I've had several people.
A camera like that, you know what I mean?
We've had several people ask where I got this shirt from, and it's a thrift store. Everything I wear is from a thrift store. Look, okay, let's check in with the comments really quick. Where's my cursor? Guys, this is not the best live stream ever, but we're gonna make it out. We're gonna make out all right. And yes, this is real. Rolling on the floor laughing. I love all your contents. Nick Lopro says Pewy. That's what I was thinking. Looks like a Super 8, and that's intentional. Look at this. It's supposed to be based on something like this. It's, holding it like that, like a little turret thing, and holding it up to your eye. That's the whole idea of this Fuji Instax Mini Evo Cinema. But I think it's all going to hinge on how much it's going to be. I think this can be for everyone. To answer my thumbnail, my clickbait thumbnail, I think this can be a thing for everybody, but it's going to depend on how much they're going to charge for the dang thing. You know what I mean? So what do you guys think? Hit me up in the chat. I'll start throwing them up on screen. Let's see. Okay. Here we go. Auto. Start hitting me up. How much are you guys going to want to pay for this thing? Let's get the chat talking. Wow, look at that. That's trippy. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay, here we go. I mean, it's neat. I like the dial. I like that it can print pictures, but you're printing screenshots. For somebody who's a photographer more than he's a video person, I think that I like making a nice picture with nice detail, nice tones, but at the end of the day, Instax is kind of imperfect. I mean, look at this. It's all blurry. It's all blown out. It's all just silly pictures. It's silly fun. That's what Instax has always been about. That's why Instax leaves it to other companies to make something that looks better than this little dingus chode. You know what I mean? That's all there is to it. That they're in the market of making toys and consumables for Gen Z skibbity labubu wanters. That's what I think this is for. I think this is for hipster Dubai chocolate lovers. It's going to be $500, says Slavi, but I wouldn't pay more than $2. Guys, is the chat showing up on screen? I'm having technical difficulties with getting my second monitor up and running again, so I'm not able to monitor the stream right now. So let me know if everything's still running smoothly. But I appreciate you guys joining the first ever live LOPRO Uncut. This has taken me a bit of doing to get running. Every time I get my second monitor up and running, it freezes on me. I don't know what's up with that. I don't know why it's doing that. But at least I can see we're still running. We got the whole chat right here. Thank you guys so much for jumping in on the first ever LOPRO Uncut live. I mean, I think I've touched on everything. Like you can dial in the strength of any filter you're using. And when I say filters, I mean these decades. They call it the Aerodial. You can dial in the strength up and down with this front thing right here. You might think that's for zoom or for focusing, but no, this is probably a focus-free little dash cam with no moving parts in it. But you can zoom in and out, and I'm thinking that's probably just a digital zoom on top of that. But it's enough for these fun hipster Instagram model people to play with, and that's what's going to get everybody else to want to play with it. Look, you can pretend it's the 2020s. I can't believe it's going to be the 2030s before we know it, and this is going to be vintage. I feel old. Is this an epic Unk crash out, or is this just, a mediocre Unk crash out? Is this a skibbity 6.7? But look, you got, you got, what is this? One Direction. This is like BTS. This is what's going on. Like, beautiful young Asian people hanging out doing beautiful young Asian people things. And you can make epic videos with it, but here's some truth in advertising I'd rather have. Look at that. She sets it to 1930s. That's definitely not the footage out of this thing. And maybe they're not saying they are, but it reminds me of like, you'd watch a trailer for a video game and they have like epic, super high res, detailed 3D models and everything. And you'd be like, wow, that video game, I can't wait. And then it comes out and it looks like Final Fantasy VII. You know what I mean? Sarah doesn't know what I mean because she's not a total nerd like I am.
We got a lot more comments.
Okay, let me catch up with comments, I guess. Here, we'll go to
Back to Slavic Boy Reese's 200 max.
we'll go to the main screen, get the comments over here. Let's see if I can get this over here so I'm not like freaking you guys out. Okay. The current world situation makes everyone feel way older. Yes, it does, man. 200 would be my max, says Evan. 5K. Nop says, I want to know how someone is supposed to set it down. What side do you set it on? Probably they've barely showed the side where the film goes in because this is the one side that has all the stuff on it. Where's that video where the guy's showing it off? I think it's in the, no, it's not that one. It's in this one. He shows where it's just blank. The other side just looks like this, except not purple. Let me see. See if I can scroll around and find it. No, now he's showing off the printer thing. The printer thing actually seems pretty cool. You know what I mean? Come on. They're not, I feel like intentionally. There we go. Here's what the other side looks like. Play. Oh, they only showed it for a split second. There's one part where they show it, but there we go. See, there. There you go. It just looks like that. Just a little latch. I don't think there's anything in this. By the way, dude, that's a good deal. I got this for $2. Actually, I might have got it for $1, half off. It works. Pretty sure. Light goes on. I haven't used it yet because I barely ever shoot Instax, but maybe this would be what gets me to. But I can't imagine it's worth 500. Everybody keeps guessing 500. I've seen that Gene Black guy. He was like, hopefully they can keep it under 2. I even feel I wouldn't spend 2 on it. I mean, I probably wouldn't even spend 100 on it just because I know I'd play with it for a little bit and put it down. You know why? Because I use Dehancer to get my my footage to look like film, to add film grain and do all that stuff. And if you haven't heard, you can get a deal off Dehancer. Dehancer is world-class film emulation for your YouTube videos or Instagram reels, and you can get 10% off. Go to dehancer.com and use promo code LOPRO. Bing, bing. What are we saying? The only way I'm buying this thing if it's on the used market a few years after the hype blows over, because I couldn't pay more than 100 for that. Exactly. My thoughts exactly, Dutchies. Yeah, I mean, I just feel like in a perfect world, we would love Fuji to be, furthering what we love, what you guys come to this channel for, hopefully, which is to watch actual film get shot. Film like this, which I can't believe I have. Look at that. Oh, you can't even see it because we got green screen on right now. So what even is this? Wow. What even is that? I think it reminds me of before all the cell phones had nice cameras. Before when cell phones, you were still doing like click, click, click for one letter, when you were typing on a little number pad for texting. It reminds me of all the little cameras they had then that were like, less than 480p. So, I mean, that's my thoughts. I'm hoping it gets people intrigued and wanting to actually keep this analog thing going. But other than that, I'm just worried it's a gimmicky thing where a giant corporation just has a bunch of cheap parts that they're reassembling into some hype beast freaking new abomination that's putting digital pictures printed onto analog film, and then they're just hoping we go all yay la-boo-boo and buy it. Anyway, that's my thoughts. Let me see, babe, have I missed any good chats that I got to pull up before we close this thing off?
I just want to know whether or not people think you're too critical on all cameras.
Do people think I'm too critical? I don't think Olympus OM Systems is ever going to want to work with me again, which would be sad. I had a lot of fun with that camera. I just had to send it back today. I tried to get them to extend the loan period, but I think I was too harsh on my review about the OM3, which just came out a few days ago. Check that out if you missed it. It's a pretty fun camera, and apparently I was really mean because I said I wouldn't buy it. Some people said some really mean things. Let's look at some mean comments. I know we're going off script over here. What did some guy said? Some guy was like really mean. He said, "Freaking way to make a no value freaking thing." What did he say? Of course you must know what a backhanded compliment is, I guess anything will do to get some attention. Well, you got it. Thank you for your no value added content. Okay, man. I guess if you're going to criticize the freaking Gestapo OM, then you freaking get sent to the gulag, I guess. I don't know what to say. It's like people expect some guy to get a free camera lent to him for a couple of months and him to just simp all over it. You know what I mean? I don't know. Anyway, that's not what this episode's about, but go watch that if you missed it, and go watch some of my other stuff. I love Fuji stuff. I love Fuji film. I love Fuji Superia. I have some Fuji Natura 1600. Big thanks to Alexander Just for sending me that. I get to shoot that eventually. Please subscribe if this is your first time ever watching my channel, because I have fun with film. And thank you for everyone for joining. I'm sorry I didn't get to all the chats. Let me catch up with some. Brands that don't respect honesty don't deserve any platform from anyone. Thank you so much. I didn't feel it was too harsh. Thank you so much.
Make a comment just about how, like, once a new camera gets the LoPro stamp of approval, you guys will know it really means something.
Yeah, I'm trying to, have a bit of credibility here. I don't want to simp for everybody who sends me a camera, because then at the end of the day, how are you going to know if I'm serious or not? If a camera really does get my stamp of approval, then my stamp means something, is worth something. So I appreciate you guys tuning in, man. This is what did you think of the first LOPRO Uncut live? Sorry about all the noise. As you can tell, this is a professional operation we're running over here. I really need another monitor. Next time, I think I'm going to run my extra monitor on my CRT. That way, I'm not letting any new technology get in the way between me and making a good show over here. Joey JP says, I'm not buying it if it was free, just for my morals. What, are you an analog of, purist? Is that what you're saying? Slavic Boy says, I have a feeling since the Lomo camera was $500 and since this one has the gimmick of the decade filter, I feel their marketing would justify $5 to $6. I kind of feel that way too, man. I think they're going to try and overcharge for it. Visual Darkness says, have you gotten any feedback from Olympus? They honestly didn't say anything about the video. I pitched a follow-up video and they said, yeah, you do you, King. Send back here's the return address and return label. And I just shipped it back today. And I kind of missed the camera already. Maybe I was too harsh. Maybe I'm just afraid of change, afraid of, new technology. I know it's gimmicky, Joey JP, but look at what was the article we were reading. They say it's a gimmick, and it's supposed to be. That's the point. Nuke is a gimmick, and that's the point. And I get it. It looks fun. I would love to pick this thing up and fiddle with it. I mean, the little film printing winder thing here, it's got a nice little clicky sound when you use it. I hate the back screen. It looks like I'm looking at the back of a GoPro. You know what I mean? It's like, wow. And it only films vertical, and everything it films is going to be inside an Instax border. So that's, kind of lame, but what resolution can that really be? And you can only film up to 15-second clips. So but limitations breed innovation. So I'm not going to harp too much on that, because some kid could still cut together a great 15 a great little short home movie thing. I imagine this could be the next thing, just like how kids grew up with Super 8 cameras and made their own little Star Wars movies or something. But since they're forcing it to be inside of a fake Instax frame, I just feel like that's kind of creatively stifling, right? Or am I wrong? I get they got to stick with the branding, and maybe it's to hide the limitations of the inherent resolution of the thing. If we put it inside of a fake border, it'll seem intentional, and then no one will ask questions because we have beautiful Japanese superstars with fur coats selling our product. I don't know. Fuji, hit me up. I promise I won't be as harsh on you as I was OM Systems. I promise. Sisyphus, nice name, says Instax Mini Evo, #1 selling camera in Japan, domestic market. Well, I guess they don't care. They don't care whether it's an actual analog picture on analog film or not, I guess leave it to Lomo. Leave it to Lomo to make the fancy cameras and to the nons cameras to actually push this medium to its limit. You know what I mean? Fuji obviously does not want to do that, and that's fine. I guess, there's no reason to harp on them because they've showed their hand. They're not flipping their script. They're doing exactly what they've been doing this whole time, making toy cameras, but now there's a toy video camera, So you can make a cute little trendy thing to go on your Instagram wall, and you can pass out little QR code pictures to all your girlfriends after you go get a Whataburger. I guess. I don't know. I don't have friends. Tips on shooting Ilford. No, we're talking about Fuji today. I wish Fuji had continued producing the FP100C instead. I don't know if I agree with that. We'll see. This is the first and only box of this stuff I'll probably ever shoot, and then I'm going to break the camera that I have to shoot this with. So be sure to subscribe if you want to see that episode. What about the price of the new Y? We're not talking about that. This is all about the Fuji today. Only Fuji questions. Yeah, the 15-second is my biggest issue. If you guys didn't catch that, you can only record up to 15 seconds long with this new camera. I think it looks sick with this little hood on there. I hope it's not chintzy looking through that thing. I just kind of wish it had an optical path. But how does that work? Like, can you actually look through the lens in old-timey Super 8 cameras like this? Or do you rack over, or is it an approximation? That looks like a light meter. Is it just a pass-through hole? Are there reflex cameras that let you look through the lens on movie cameras? I don't know how it works, I mean, I guess I don't know anything, guys. I'm just a dingus, and if you're watching this, I appreciate you. Long format videos aren't really in anyway. Wow, well, visual darkness, I guess. What about my long form videos? They could change your mind. Grumpy Grain, when Fujifilm come back? I mean, this is their comeback. They've been diversifying, and I don't think they're trying to come back to anything more than little Barney camera. You know what I mean? Oh, what's up, Clippy? I just dropped it, but don't worry, it probably still works. I like when people show some negative parts of things. Other people just do hype. Thank you. It's not a blind, it's just good things, but the truth with good sense in it. Slavi says, it feels like most of the companies making these cameras only want to be a gimmick because many of the big companies have left many people high and dry. I don't trust corporate America or corporate Japan. I don't trust corporations. I don't love companies. I love people. I love shooting cameras, and I love a time when everything that came out was like a triumph of design. Like even this little plasticky toy hiking camera, manual focusing rangefinder, freaking fit in your pocket, it's solid as heck, It's a triumph of design. Some things from bygone eras like this, where it's look at this. It's from the 50s. It's a rangefinder. It's solid. It's got coupled metering where you can move this and everything stays together on the exposure. And I don't know. They just don't make them like they used to. And this is welcome to your daily dose of epic crash out film photography talk, I guess. Instax can look very professional, but the cameras are 100% the limits. Yep, that's why I think that your best bet is just taking some of this and using some double-sided tape and a 4x5 film holder, I guess. Make sure to like the video, guys, before we wrap up this podcast. Don't break the Polaroid camera. The Chinese are planning to bring back peel-apart film. I don't know, Sisyphus. I think I'm going to break it because I want to shoot 4x5 with it, and that's what's going to happen. When this comeback, rip it up. Well, guys, I don't know. I think I've said everything I can say about this thing. I hope that it's going to inspire people to get into analog. And this kind of started off as an epic little crash out of back in my day, Instax was film, not, screenshots of Instagram reels, but, anything to get people shooting and having fun and having intentional separate designs, having a separate thing for something rather than everything just being an app or being on your phone or being on your smart TV. Something that's going to get people together is always a good thing, no matter what walk of life you're in, whether you're some kimono wearing fancy Japanese models or you're some Insta people, getting married, going on road trips and bars and whatnot, whoever you are, or if you're some trailer park trash that stole this from the local Walmart, as long as you're having fun and not cooking meth, I think it's a good thing. And that's what Instax is all about. It's all about the DARE program, getting us to get together and hopefully inspiring people to be like, hey, that kind of looks neat. I like how it's all jiggly and lo-fi. I don't even know if they'd know what lo-fi means. I like how it's not freaking phone. How do I make things that aren't phone? And then people might go buy a pack, a box of film, and more people will go buy this and go shoot other cameras and learn about the roots of this whole thing that brings us all together. And thank you guys for coming together for this episode. Hey, does anyone know the difference between NPF and NPF? I have no idea, paw print, but you know what I do know is I couldn't make these silly, rambly photography podcasts without the help of LoPresti Army. So thank you, Spencer. Thank you, Juan. Thank you, Brock. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Hill. Thank you, Nop. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Gabriel. Thank you, Slavic Boy. Thank you, Litos. Thank you, Nanu. Thank you, M. Thank you, Anjay. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Joel. Thank you, Government Psyop. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Mortison. And thank you, Dankway. Our newest member just came in under the gun today. Sorry about the no on-screen graphics today. Most of all, thank you, Internet. I'm Nick. Again, this has been LOPRO Uncut. I'm Nick LoPresti. My channel's Nick LoPresti, all about film photography. And I have a lot of highly edited, well-produced videos all about that stuff. It's not just this talking head, lazy, news capitalizing, clickbait stuff. It's usually a lot of effort I put into this stuff. And I also have a dog, so you know I'm a good person. Look at that dog down there. Look how cute he is. Look how cute. Can I zoom in on the dog? Here we go. Dog time. See, I got a dog. He's my doggy. Anyway, I guess that's it. Thank you, Clippy. Thank you, everybody. I hate how so many photographer group hate on people having fun in the ways they don't have fun themselves. Yeah, dude. So this is for everybody. Photography is for everybody. And you can shoot great photos on your phone. You can shoot great videos on your phone. I do some of my videos with my phone, So even if it's a gimmicky toy, that's fine. It's another thing that's out there. I don't have to hate on it. I think another thing for another camera with Instax branded on it means they're going to keep making this stuff for a while. I just hope that means they can bring, maybe bring this back. Maybe, keep making the wide stuff. As long as there's more analog getting made, we're all winners in this circle. Even if this isn't for us, if it's not for me, it's for somebody to have a lot of fun. So thank you guys. Thank you, LoPresti Army. Please consider going to madebylopro.com to join LoPresti Army, getting your name shouted out at the ends of the videos, and you get exclusive codes for discounts on my website where I sell merch and I have stickers. I don't sell these ones. These ones get put in with the orders. These ones are free, but I have really cool stickers that I do sell, and prints are coming soon. Hats are coming soon. More shirts are coming soon, and I really appreciate you guys. So thanks for joining me. Peace out.